Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to our fourth webinar for Medical Wellness Congress. This first Medical Wellness Congress is organized by Health and Beauty France. My name is Vladi Kovanik. I am responsible for one part of this Congress, and I am very happy to open this webinar today. Only one detail, the Congress will be in June 28 and 29 June in Austria near Vienna. Today we have three eminent specialists for wellness and beauty. I would like to welcome Julien Flotas. Julien Flotas is, I will say, international traveler. He was traveling all over the world, and now, sometimes ago, he was coming back to his family business, and he's dealing and managing company Corboderm Healthcare and Beauty. This company is specialized since 15 years in innovation through high-tech devices in medical and aesthetic and beauty markets. Welcome, Julien. Second gentleman is Mr. Rainer Bolsinger. We are no more in France, now we are in Germany. Mr. Bolsinger is a specialist in so-called Kälte technique. It means it is international business which develops the medical, sports, and hospitality industry. He is a very famous speaker working with different congresses, and he is also in connection with the Austrian Academy of Cosmetic Surgery and Aesthetic Medicine. Welcome, Mr. Bolsinger. And the third most important personality today is Norbert Hintermeyer in Austria, in Vienna. Mr. Norbert Hintermeyer is a journalist. He will moderate today's webinar. He is more than 25 years in wellness and spa business, and he is the owner of Wellness World Business magazine, and he is also organized European Health and Spa Awards. Norbert, welcome, and I will give you the word. Please, you can start.
Thank you, Flavi. I also welcome everybody from my side. I'm very pleased to moderate this very exciting roundtable today. And I guess the topic is also quite interesting. What can we expect from medispa in terms of techniques and equipment? And I think these both speakers today are really relevant and competent to talk about that. It's really funny that we talk about that today, because I was thinking when I prepared about medical wellness. When does it start? It's really very young, and you can say 5 years ago nobody really talked in deep about that and believed about that. But now we see wellness, medical wellness is a trend, and it's very clear that there is a fusion between medicine and wellness. And I think both of these two participants are, with their technology, they're using good speakers that we get some more information about this topic. So let's start. And the first question would be, there's a transition from medicine to wellness, as I said. And how do you realize that in your business? Because mostly you coming, part of your business is coming from medical devices or medical services. And now you're moving towards medical wellness. So how you realize that or recognize that this transition, and how important do you think is technique now in the wellness area? First, maybe let's start with Julian first.
So we believe that there were everything is coming. In fact, if you see any fields, can it be may it be aesthetics or beauty or anything, everything is coming from the medical. We everything is based on the medical studies that are made, thousands of medical studies that are made every year, and each time we think about, we try to develop a technique or a technology, it's always based, the base is medical. Then this medical base can be applied to any different fields, different markets, and to any different means. So may it be purely medical, may it be medical wellness, may it be beauty, but everything is coming from the medical, so that we get this credibility, legitimacy, and security, and then we apply it to the different fields where it has to be it has to be applied. In fact, this is the way we try to have it thought. Reason why, coming from these innovative, different new studies, we try to develop some innovative technologies to apply to these different fields.
All right. Raina, what is your point of view?
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, first of all. I think you're right that medical and wellness is joining more and more together. I think this is a mega trend from both sides. Medicine is getting opened to more different directions, like the traditional Chinese medicine comes in. The physical therapies gain importance again. We rediscover some old treatment methods. And let's say the basket in the medical area gets wider and wider, not only pharmacology. And at the same time, wellness markets are growing up. Let's say they're getting more professional in a way that we look more for evidence-based concepts that are proven, that we have more sustainability and really result-driven treatments. So
Yeah.
both coming together from both sides, it is growing in the same direction. And one can see that all around the world. Already more than 10 years ago, I've seen luxury hospitals in China that can compete with any five-star hotel. And slowly it's coming all over the world to see that. And we have more and more medical offers in the spa world at the same time. Even in Germany now, it's normal that a bigger hospital has a fitness studio and a spa area with sauna and pool. So absolutely agree.
Right. But what we can see also now at the moment is that there's a trend going to technical advices also. Techniques are going more important, become more important now, whether of the crisis, the pandemic we have now, or there was before also a clear trend of getting more technically in spas. So what would you be your opinion about existing techniques? Um, are there some new innovations you think? Are there something new coming up which could be interesting for spas and especially for medical spas? Julian?
Yes, yes. In fact, we can see that we have very nice and well working existing techniques, existing technologies, very well known, such as the ultrasounds, very frequency LEDs, many different technologies. These technologies are existing since more than 20 years for some of them, but even for these ones, they are not staying as is, and they are day to day evolving because already based on these medical studies we have, so we can have increased protocols, we can have new techniques to do it. So even a technique, let's say from the past, can be a technique from the future for the future, because we are making evolvements. We are making updates on the proper technologies, but we also finding that the combinations between different techniques can also lead to different results. So yes, clearly we have the existing techniques that are being evolved, and for sure it's our DNA. We are also working on innovative technologies that are also coming now to the market to give different treatments and applications.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because, as Flavi said, we're doing the European Health and Spa Awards also, and we're also scouting for new technologies in this area, which I guess is quite exciting now. What happens? So, Rainer, how do you see this? Because your company is searching since 25 years, I have to say in your technology. So you have a lot of knowledge about thermal technology. How do you see that?
I see, first of all, a general trend that we have a shift from not managing illness anymore, but to stay healthy. And that is where enters wellness into healthcare, so to say. So I think the new trends are mainly in diagnostics, for example, that you have much more methods for evaluation. They do body checks without being sick, just to check if you're on the right track and how is the personal development on that. We are still doing the same quality with our products on the whole body cryotherapy, but the shift is now to get more into the treatment, to have an organized treatment, focusing on a framework within security, being evidence-based, having effectiveness and results which are predictable and replicable, and at the same time to have a track afterwards, even over the time, not only for the operator, but as well for the customer and the guest, to have a check what is the outcome of a treatment I have done. So do I'm getting better? And at the same time for the operator to document that the treatments are effective on a wider base of guests, to adapt protocols and to invent new protocols in combination with other technologies, because I think this is a big challenge for us in the industry to bring different product concepts together to bigger protocols and to have journeys that are result driven.
All right. That's quite interesting talking about protocols because we're talking about standards. Standards are very much important, especially in the medical area, but also becoming more and more important in the wellness area. But there's also a lot of movement going on in the direction of individualization and personalization. So how can you fix that personal service by standardization, by protocols? Because there's a contradiction a little bit, because the therapists, they have to be flexible. They have to look at the individuals and the person before they begin the treatments. So can you say something about this topic a little bit, how you handle that in your technology or your products?
Yeah, there is a point there around standardization and personalization. The idea is that both are not 100% contradictory. Standardization is good because we have protocols, we work on protocols, and we know that these protocols are working on almost everyone. Okay, now. And it's comfortable for a therapist, for someone to have standards that you can rely on, and then because therapists, because manufacturers, because distributors are getting more and more knowledge, more and more expertise, then we can go a step further. Okay, so then based on these standards, we can begin to make things on measure, tailor proposal, tailor treatments. So we can apply to, thanks to this expertise, we can personalize the treatments based on the individual and its needs, intimately linked to the good diagnosis, the way that we are really knowing better and better what we have to treat, and then we can adapt. And always same thing. Products, devices, technologies, they are make to work by their own, but also we know that some combinations around different things, what I call le parcours, the way to make the treatments, it can be linked to different steps, different technologies at one point, in order to always have the same aim, the same target, is to increase the efficiency, increase the results, and get more and more these healthy people, good results, and everything. So always linked on, I have a diagnosis, a strong and reliable diagnosis, and then thanks to my expertise and my portfolio of technologies and techniques, adapt it to the people I have in front of me.
Okay, sounds interesting. Rainer, how you have to add something about that?
I think it does not contradict in individualization and standardization. I think they have to come together. You have to individualize on the points that are necessary to individualize, and you have to standardize the procedure. For example, let's say, I'll give you an example. If you have counterindications, if you have a process, step A, B, C, D, E, F, D, that should be defined in detail. Individualization is very important. In many fields, it's different if you treat a lady or a man, if you're strong or if you're very slim, for example, and so on. It has an impact. Yeah. So here you need the individualization on personal values, but the process, how you evaluate that, is a standardized one again. Yeah. Let's say, if you talk about whole body cryotherapy, we define an individualized treatment time. This is based on physiological values like gender, skin type, BMI, status of training, etc. Your thermal perception, subjective values, and the product you use. Let's say, what is the doses that you get. So with all this together, you can individualize within a standardized framework.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But it's quite important, I guess, the people who manage these devices. Of course, you need a certain protocol and standardization that everybody knows how to handle it. But on the other side, you know exactly how you individualize or how to personalize. So does it need also a certain kind of training for the employees and the therapists? Because I think this would be very important, as I know, because we are testing spas and wellness areas since more than 12 years, 14 years almost. I know that there are a lot of quite good products out there, but in the reality, if you go to a spa and using it, mostly they are not properly adjusted, let's say. And I think this is really a big difficulty in spas to adjust, and you need the perfect trained therapists and people. So how you work on this topic, I guess this is quite important, I think. Julian?
Yes. Well, in this case, it's. I come back to my chart, but in this case, it's clearly the combination between the device and the company that is besides this device. So that's clear that you can have the best device in the world. If you're not trained to use it, then it's a bit useless. and you can, and then it's the question of the professionalism of your partner, and clearly we are making devices, technologies, in order to have people use them very, very well, because the final customer is the aim, okay, the target, and the health of the final customer. So we don't need to put a lot of devices everywhere if they are useless to the people. So we are on the medical wellness. It's not about we are in B2C business, in B2B businesses. So we deliver technology, and we train continuously, in this case, to have the people aware of this use, and efficient when they use it. And because clearly expertise is result. So in this case, it's really a question of the professionalism of your partner, for me.
Okay, Rainer.
I think Julian mentioned the most important point is training, that the people know what they are doing, definitely. I think the digital world now can help there a lot and can have a big impact. We use an accredited online training, which is the same for everybody. So I assure that everybody learned the same stuff with the exam in the end. And on the second level, the procedure on some spots or steps of the procedure, software can help to standardize, to have defined step A, B, C, D, E. This never substitutes the individual doing the treatment. You're absolutely right, Norbert, in what you said before, especially if you talk about physical or therapy or manual therapies. The feeling and the feedback that the therapist or therapist gets from the customer, from the guest, is very important to adapt afterwards how it's working. But the procedure itself can be partly assured by digital solutions, I think.
All right. I have to say, if somebody has some questions, you have here underneath the area F and Q with questions. You can ask questions here, and we will also answer you if there's something urgent coming up. Don't stop. Ask the experts. That's the
Indeed,
reason why we are
Norbert,
here.
if you permit, I would like to have one question. We discussed before yesterday on a webinar with Roger Allen and Dr. Franz Linzer for Hot Spa Forum, and it was one very interesting phenomena. In this crisis, we think, and seems to be, that the people will choose very carefully the destination and will stay much more longer. So it means that the establishment, the medispa, the spas, the hotels, if they have a special technique, and you will see this technique on our Congress in Vienna on 28th and 29th of June, that they have a much more possibilities to satisfy the client. So I would like to ask Mr. Bolsinger, do you have echo, or do you think that because we have these terrible crises, but it could bring something new for the clients? What do you think from your opinion?
I think you're absolutely right. The people understand that if I want to have effects, I need a certain time in a hotel. Within 2 or 3 days, I can feel that I have an impact on my health, but to get a more sustainable effect, you need more. You need 5 to 10 days at least, and you need treatment focused concepts where you work on with a whole bunch of a different setup. In your last webinar, Chez nous was a good example to see. If you book in there, you have a specified time and you have your specified goal, and afterwards you get results. And I think this is a very, very important point for medical spa. You have to deliver in the end, and the people expect that. and that only works if you stay a little bit longer time. So I'm absolutely with you that trend will go on, and the people will realize that if they want effects, they need to invest and participate and stay for a certain time.
Yeah. Julian, do you think also just the same thing?
Yes, I believe clearly the same, and I also believe that one point that will be important to discuss now, because people will stay longer, they have to find something inside that is different from the other sides. Maybe by the specifications, by the treatments, they have to see something different. It can be the site, it can be the offer, it can be many different things inside. But I believe one of the words that are most important is now differentiation, because the offer is huge, and then you have to have something, some highlights inside your offer in order for people to say, okay, I have to go in this one, because in this one I will have this specific thing that I can't find anywhere. And I believe this also is very important.
I
Adding
Yes, you are completely right. I think that with all these uh, klima uh, we are now living, the people will change. The people will change a lot of habit, and it will be. We shall take a little bit new way for our our system, as for spa, as for medical clinics and companies. Norbert, do you have another question?
Yes, yes. I have a lot of much more questions, but I just was asking if somebody comes in. Um, there was another question now from the audience. What is new? What is in the DNA? Um, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but if somebody will answer, please, Rainer or Julian, you want to answer? What is in the DNA?
what
What about DNA? What's new? Because we're talking about medical and changing the DNA and all this complicate stuff in medical wellness, optimization of the body. So I think this question goes in this direction, I guess.
Yes, yes. I lost a little bit the end of your phrase, but to speak about Corpodem, the DNA of Corpodem, our leitmotiv, our idea is.
No, now it's about research in wellness. So, is there some research done for the wellness area, especially? She meant.
I believe I didn't really understood the question, but maybe Rainer, you can begin, and I will complete if you have it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. There's there's going on a lot of investigation and stuff. For us, we are using our software where we have already more than 100,000 treatment examples. And obviously, this is in the end big data, where you can correlate if our customers can correlate with a certain treatment aim. I give you an example. You in your hotel, you focus on having a better sleep behavior. Yeah. So in the software, we know when you do the treatment. So the next morning with an app, you as a guest are asked, did you sleep well? How long did you last to fall asleep? How deep was your sleep? And so on. So you can even customize it as an operator, and then get results how your treatment procedure with whole body cryotherapy and other therapies, what is the outcome for this specific guest. And obviously, the more guests you have with a certain treatment aim, the bigger the data gets that you can work with afterwards. As an example, really hands-on. And studies are going on all the time in all the different directions, which are in the end spa related. If this was the question, that is normal. I think, yeah. I think health optimization is more and more on topic, looking at specific values of the body composition. As I said in the entrance, I think diagnostics will gain a lot of importance in the spa and wellness world as well. And this goes into the same direction. If you do diagnostics in the beginning, if you look at specific values, you can have a real track what happens with your values when you arrive in comparison to the point when you leave. Or even better, if you're a regular guest and you want to have ongoing development, let's say you come every 3 months, every 6 months, latest every year, then you can see over the time how certain values are developing, even not being sick, but seeing how you get healthier.
Yeah. To talk about treatments, I have one question. How you work on that? Are you working together with the clients to work on individual treatments, for example, to help them by gaining more profit maybe in the spa? Or are there some concepts about that? Maybe you can say about that something, Rainer or Julian? Okay, Julian?
Yes. In fact, yes, for sure. Every way to work is different from one customer to the other, because we even if we have the same technology, we have to adapt to what is in, and to see how can this be developed inside the concept, because everyone has a different concept, in fact, even if some don't really know, but we all have a different concept, and so we have to adapt it. So yes, clearly, as the spas are making some tailor-made things to their final customers, we also have to have a specific approach to every of our customers, because one is different to the other. It's obvious.
Okay, thank you very much. We are after the time. I am very happy that all from all over the Europe now. We participate. I would like to also thank all the visitors we had. And of course, I would like to invite all the visitors to our Medical Wellness Congress to Austria, because you will have all the three gentlemen over there, and they will give much more explanations and much more details to today's team. Thank you very much and have a nice day. I hope to see you in Austria in June.